Thank you for inviting me up. I probably practiced this 1,000 times, but I know you'll know what my question is, and we'll get to the bottom of it. I want to go back to what you talked about when you said that what you experience at any moment is a perfect match to the frequency that you're involved with.
So you practice yourself into a vibrational expectation. And in preparation for what you're going to say to us, we want to tell you a story. A woman was annoyed with us because she had been in her car, she'd been pulled over, and she'd been given a ticket. And she said, "You say that you get what you think about, and I was not thinking about that." She said, "In fact, I was listening to one of your recordings when it happened. So how could I be listening to one of your recordings, nowhere near something like that, and I got a rather expensive ticket?" And we said, "What was the ticket for?" She said, "Not wearing my seatbelt." We said, "Well, how do you feel about that?" And she said, "Well, I think it's bogus. I don't think anybody has the right to tell me that I should wear a seatbelt. It steps on my toes of freedom. No one has the right to tell me what to do. And sometimes I pretend that I'm wearing it when I'm not, and sometimes I just don't wear it." She was clearly defiant about the subject. And we said, "So you're moving through traffic, and that's where you've left that vibration." And in fact, she felt that way about a lot of things, not just that. But that was representative of how she was feeling about other people telling her what to do who had no business to tell her what to do. And so here you are moving through traffic, and here are policemen moving around through traffic, trolling for revenue. And there's a perfect law of attraction vibrational rendezvous, because there they are looking for someone who is breaking the law. And here is someone who defiantly breaks that law every day. Every time she doesn't buckle her seatbelt, she's thinking, "I'm not going to buckle my seatbelt. You're not going to tell me what to do." So it was active in her vibration, even though she was thinking about other things. This is a really good conversation to have, isn't it?
Yes,
How do I know what I've got going on within me? In other words, I thought I was thinking about that. Are you saying that I could have a vibration going on that is not about what I'm thinking about? And we say, no, that's not possible. The vibration that's going on is the synthesized version of what you've got going on. But we have to say that when you feel strongly about something, almost every other thing that you're thinking about is somewhere in the vibrational vicinity of that. And while you might vary here and there, there's a general theme that you've got going on. There's a general theme that life is reflecting back to you. Okay. So now we've laid our trap for you. Now we're eager to hear what you're talking about.
That is perfect. The scenario I wanted to bring up to you was on New Year's Day, I was with a friend, and we were picking up 2 pizzas to bring home to our wives. And we had a wonderful party the night before. We were in good company, and I was in traffic. I made a left-hand turn when everything was safe, and 3 minutes later, I had 4 broken ribs and a collapsed lung because somebody ran a red light. So as they put me in the ambulance, they said, "It's going to take a few minutes for us to cut your friend out of the car." So I said to myself, what did I do to attract this? This is not what I was thinking about at the time. But that's, as you've said, there must be something else that was going on there that exploded all at once.
Our favorite part of this story is your acceptance that nothing ever happens to you that is outside of your point of attraction. And when you say you're going to get to the bottom of it, we will talk about it with you a bit. But we want to remind all of you that we really don't want to activate something so much, in other words, since there is no bottom. So a productive thing to do is to acknowledge what comes out of it. And what has come out of it not only is wanting to have more safety and wanting to feel good in your body and wanting things to go well with your friend, but also wanting to understand attraction. Mm-hmm. One day, shortly after Jerry and Esther moved to Texas where they are, there's a overpass that they cross every day to go into San Antonio. And on one end of the overpass is a four-way stop, but on the other end, there's no stop sign. So the inconsistency of it is odd. Well, both Jerry and Esther have been sticklers for consistency. In other words, something either matters or it doesn't. She doesn't like the arbitrary manner that she and all of you are treated at the checkpoint at the airports. In other words, this either matters all the time or it matters none of the time, but it can't matter some of the time and none of the time. She wants consistency, which does not serve her, because she lives in a world that is varied in its vibration, and to demand consistency is not serving her. So this is something that she's got stuck in her vibrational craw that keeps reflecting itself to her in different ways until she finds another way of thinking about it that causes her to rendezvous with another set of experiences. So as Esther is crossing this overpass, she failed to stop and pulled out in front of someone, and they didn't hit her, but they honked at her and they were upset with her. And she was embarrassed, and Jerry was surprised because he sees Esther as a good driver. And Jerry also was very good at being a backseat driver, even if he was in the front seat. And so both of them missed it. And so Esther's question to us was, Abraham, why didn't you warn me? Why did you let me run that stop sign? And our answer to her was, because you've been paying no attention for a long time about things like that. And words don't teach. It's only life experience that teaches. And she is paying a lot of attention now and ever since then about things like that, because the experience was a big enough experience that it exaggerated a desire within her that she then became determined to become a vibrational match too. So we know it's not very satisfying to say that you're lackadaisical in your vibration, and most people are not really very aware of what they are attracting until they have attracted it. And as we've been saying, you've been hearing this all morning say, rather than trying to figure out how you got there, or even trying to stop it in the middle of it because the momentum was already underway, instead, decide that you're going to get out ahead of it. Decide that you're going to get out ahead of it vibrationally. Now, we hope this answer is not satisfying to you. We hope that we have not gotten to the bottom of it and that you don't have anything that you can pinpoint in your vibration that would specifically be the cause of such a thing. Because if we were able to do that with you, we would increase the momentum about something that you don't want and make it even more probable. Instead, we like it that a new, clearer, stronger desire has been born within you, and now we want you to get out ahead of that. You see, it's an interesting thing what you do to your children, and it's part of the conversation that we had about the child on the ice yesterday. There is this notion that humans promote that goes like, well, because I had an accident, and because I didn't see it coming, and because I was not at fault, I did not run the stop sign, I did nothing wrong, I'm willing to accept that there may have been something in my vibration, but really, I was not at fault about this. And therefore, I need to warn people I care about. I need to let them know, watch out, you could fall, or watch out, people aren't watching what they're doing, or watch out, watch out, watch out. Esther's been wanting to make an edict for everyone that she cares about, which pretty much includes everyone. Leave your cell phone somewhere else when you're in the car. Don't text. Don't talk on the phone, you're distracted. She wants to say that because people do goofy things, and mostly at stoplights, they don't go when it turns green. But she knows that those parental warnings. And so we really don't want to fan the flames of crazy drivers that are out there. We want to fan the flames of rendezvous, 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 rendezvous. And you just as easily could have had a near miss than a hit. It could have just as easily been a near miss. So the question is, why wasn't it? And the answer is, who cares?
Okay.
Who cares? It's something that happened that was evidence of where I was. What am I going to do? So now here's the big question. Do I have to know what I did wrong in order to do it right? You are so smart. You are so smart. So does he need to get to the bottom of that? Or just set intentions about what you do want? We could spend all day speculating, and we could do it accurately. But we're not going to do that.
Agreed.
We're not going to talk about the influence of your friend and the vibration that he had going on. We're not going to talk about that.
I've considered that. I'm glad you mentioned that, but I won't.
We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about don't hang out with him. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to
So I just want to make sure that I almost thought I was going to cross over there for a minute. The thoughts that I think can they be that detrimental that I could kill myself?
No, not in the moment.
Okay.
Not in the moment. You can never think a thought in the moment. You do not have the power to think a thought in the moment to cause an avalanche of momentum that equals a manifestation. It's not like that at all. You do not have to be wary of your thoughts. Just generally and gradually and generally and gradually and consistently improve the vibrational nature of your thoughts and live happily ever after.
Thank you very much.